Okay, if you followed iFixit or there are a couple of other take-aparts for the 3DS, you've probably gotten down at least to this part. Now, if you've been careful, you've obviously been careful in taking apart being careful to be able to disconnect the two attachments to the motherboard here and over here without totally messing it up, because we'll have to plug them in later. Again, right there for one, and right there for the other one beside the chip there. There's the cartridge case there, and here is where the power port would have been, but I've already desoldered it, the two pieces off of here and here. So when I get the new one, I'll probably solder the new one to here again and here again. Now, you also want to solder what I believe you're going to end up soldering the two little other pieces to here and here. And you'll see it on my friend's son's totally destroyed power port. You can see here, you can see right there on the end of that is where you go solder, and that actually was sitting down on top of the piece right there. And then you had the gold contact, which I guess if you put it on a charging dock would touch the charging dock and charge the battery. This is the piece I was referring to, part of the charging port that's surrounded by the bracket, and it has two, probably a positive and negative, and that actually probably solder right in to here again, and they probably also charge the battery that way. But when I get the power port, then we'll do that. So I'm waiting for that to come in right now, so hopefully that isn't too hard to solder back in. So I got the new piece, and it looks like that, and I was able to kind of solder it, and it looks like I burned it. I don't know whether it burned the solder or not, but just probably too hot for the solder, but I was able to solder. There are 6 points now with this power port, and you kind of want to have it flush. There's a little ledge right there. I don't know if you can see that ledge. You want to have it flush with that ledge. When I first soldered it in, I kind of was didn't have it, had it overhanging that, and couldn't get the back on initially, but eventually I kind of soldered it and got it to melt, and then kind of wiggled it back further so I could get the back on the 3DS. And then before I did that, you want to plug it in and check to make sure at least the orange power light lights up. It'll light up for about 3 seconds or 4 seconds and then go out, because I think there's a safety in it that if it doesn't find a battery, it shuts itself off or something else. So you'll just see that. So what you want to do is put the backing on now. Remember to attach the two clips here, there, and here's the other one way over here, right there. Okay. Now you can see I've got the cover back on here, and the power port's, it's not perfect. Obviously, it's not going to be like factory condition, but at least it's functional to the point. And you can kind of see it's like kind of not equal. There's spacing around the power port's not completely symmetrical comparatively. But you should be able to plug it in and at least have it work. Now you want to obviously put the screws back in. There's one central one right where the game cartridge goes, and your other ones that you took out earlier. Also put the battery back in. Okay, and I'll do that now. The battery back in. That's it, nice and easy. It drops in. Okay, and then unfortunately can't screw and film at the same time. So I just wanted to show the screw placements for the ones that attach to the plastic backing. So you see one there, one there, one there, one here, and then there 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom part. So okay, now I have the screws are screwed in at this point. Okay, and you can see I plugged it in, and you probably want to plug it in every so often while you're putting it together. And you can see it's the charging light's on, so that's the good thing. So it's charging the battery here. Now, all you have to do is put the backing on, okay? Don't forget there's those little sliding tabs in the back, so you have to put this part in first. And just so I didn't lose the screws, I kind of left them inside the plastic backing here, so they wouldn't go anywhere since they're so small. And basically we'll put that on here, okay? In fact, I might try to do it with me holding this thing. Let's see if I can do it or not. Okay, I did get it down, and now you just got to screw these things in. It should be done, and we'll go ahead and do that. Now we just powered it on. Okay, and you can see it's working it, thank God, and I believe it's charging. I hope that's a charging symbol. I forgot to check to see what well, I didn't know what it looked like when it's charging, but I'm guessing the blinking thing means it's charging. We'll see after I charge it for a little bit and see if it works. So